welcome to this episode of the DJ Interview with your host, Harry the Big Dog.
What's up, my peoples? What is up? Harry the Big Dog here. This is the DJ Interview. And as always, it's Tuesday, 8-ish. We never start on time. 8 o'clock. 8-ish just sounds better. Let me know who you are and where you are checking in from. Beautiful day today here in Virginia. Oh man, it was like I had to cut the AC on after cutting the heat on last night. So beautiful day. We got West Coast here. We definitely got West Coast here. What's up, Jeff from the Bay Area? We are chilling. So, I'm not even going to do too many intros. Y'all know about my Godzilla and Kong thing. Go see the movie. What's up, Grand Mixer GMS? West Coast in the place. With the homie DJ Nasty Nes. Ah, man, I just spoiled it. Well, yo, let me bring him in right now. This is one of the West Coast pioneers that, helped the West Coast get started with this hip hop thing. So definitely let me bring him in. DJ Nasty Nes. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, did I do this right? Does it look like a W?
Yeah, it looks like a W. You
okay,
good.
my fingers. Hold on, let me take them apart. Ah.
wait.
Hey, what's up?
Like it that way, right?
Oh, I love it, man. You got to use that through the whole interview, man, because I honestly think I'm funny. You press the laugh track.
So what is going on, bro? We I was having a conversation with you, before we came actually on live, and
that was a bad one, man.
Yeah. I know you said it kind of deflated you, but a lot of us here in the East Coast do not know of you. And
you're the only one that don't know who I am. You're the only one.
Am I the only one?
You're the only one, man. That's why I don't understand, but that's okay. You'll get to know me tonight.
I'm going to get to know you tonight, and the rest of us who also didn't know you very well.
Hey, I got to say, the intro to your show, who did that music? Who did that?
That's a fat beat, right? We're going to have to take that offline.
Oh, man. You know what? Because it kind of reminds me, the theme from Shaft?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that one is, I can hear a song about me, like, who's that brown, crazy Filipino walking down the street? Yes! Damn right, Nasty Nes.
Right.
Over that music. You gotta send me that. Send me a MP3 of that so I can create my own song.
You're a bad mother. Shut
yeah. His name is Ness. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, it's your show.
So, we're gonna just jump into this because I think this is gonna be a little bit longer than my normal ones. But state your name, your government name if you want, and where you are coming from.
My government name, it's a long one, but I'll do the short version. Nes Rodriguez. But a lot of people that know me from day one is Nestor because I'm from the Philippines. But Rodriguez is my last name. But you can just call me Ness or Nasty or Nasty Nes or Nasty Nestor. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. But that's my name. All right. For real. I'm not lying. It's my name.
Nice. Nasty.
How come I don't see you on the screen? Why are you just showing me?
I just highlighted you, bro. I wanted everybody just to see you. All right, I'm back.
You know what? Don't take this wrong, but who's that boxing promoter that promoted Ali Frazier with the hair? What's his name? Don King.
Don
The Don.
King.
Are you
That
related to him?
that is my next picture. I'm
Yeah,
letting everybody know that's my next picture. I gotta find the glasses he got.
I knew
I
it.
gotta get a cigar.
That's you, man. You look like Don Keating. See, you're not using the laugh track. Huh? You didn't think that was funny. No, man, you do. That's a compliment.
Oh
Don King got
man,
lots of
thank you.
ladies.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
He got mad money too, even at his old
yeah.
age now.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Is she still alive?
Yeah, he is. He's
Okay.
70 something or 80 something.
Oh, he's still
I
young then.
actually looked it up because when I was looking for pictures,
Uh-huh.
I came across it and he is still alive.
But I'm not the only one that said you look like Don King, right? I'm sure you
No.
get that. Okay.
I get between Don King and a couple other people, so no worries. It is all good, and
Well, it's kind of like
I do.
Don King and
It's the fro.
well, him and I don't know if you remember, if you're old enough to remember Ronald McDonald, because of the hair.
Yeah. Oh, the Ronald McDonald with the fro.
Yeah, man, that's my boy. Ron, I call him Ron, but you know Ronald McDonald. That's my boy, man. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh. So yo, did you state where you representing from?
Oh, I'm originally from, like I said, the Philippines, but based in Seattle since I was 10 years old, and I've been living in LA since 1998. But I always represent Seattle. I'm Seattle for life, even
Okay.
though I live in LA, because I love earthquakes. So, yeah. Hmm.
Now I don't know how many others love that, but so yo, how I'm hearing all these stories and seeing all this stuff. How did you get started in this hip hop thing and you know brought hip hop to the West Coast area? DJ Prince Ice, what is going on, bro?
Oh, that's my man right there. See, how can you know Prince Ice, Jeff Quan, Grandmaster GMS, but you've never heard of Nasty Ness? I don't
I've
understand.
never heard of Prince Ice either, but I
Oh,
got him in a
hush.
couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, that
He's
guy,
he's
he's
he's coming up in a
another
couple of weeks.
iconic guy. Yeah, yeah, Prince Ice, man. I've known him for a long time. He comes from the with Sway. They both worked at the same radio station, KMEL, and that's how I knew all those guys. Prince Ice, uh, Sway, and Tech, all because of I used to hang out at KMEL,
Yeah,
pushing my records to them, and I would sit in on the original Wake Up Show was at KMEL, so I would go there and hang out, and yeah, so I've known Sway for a long time, and man, now look at him,
I
he's large
know.
now.
He's
Yeah,
large now.
yeah, but
Yo,
for a minute there, man, and I told him on the show, I said for a minute there, I didn't like you. I told that to Sway, and he said, "Why?" I said because we both auditioned for the, when
yep,
they had on MTV.
yep.
Yeah, we all both auditioned to be on MTV, and guess who got the part? It wasn't me. Yeah, I was so mad, but it's all
Yeah,
love now. It's
I did
okay
see
now.
that interview. It was a good one.
Yeah.
I watched the
Oh, that
whole
was
thing.
true. That
Yeah,
hurt. No, you know what? It takes a lot to hurt my feelings and break my heart. But when you say you didn't know me, and when Sway got the job at MTV, those two really broke my heart. I mean,
damn. And
yeah,
I
it's
got you on the show. Don't hang up.
man. Only reason why I'm happy today is because guilty, guilty, guilty.
Oh, I seen a little bit of that. I didn't
Yeah.
even want to bring it up in here because it'll turn this whole thing away from you and what you've accomplished. So
Well, if it was not guilty, yeah, it definitely would turn away from me.
yeah,
But it's guilty, guilty, guilty. So I'm in a good mood.
good, good, good. So
All right.
start from the beginning when
Mm-hmm.
when you first got a hold of hip hop. We was talking about 92 KTU.
Yeah, well, before I even got into the hip hop, it was getting into radio because one of my closest friends, his sister used to cut my hair at the mom's house, and he would be upstairs DJing. And I found out he was a DJ on the local radio station, and he was DJing in the clubs. So I asked him, I said, how'd you get into DJing? And he told me, go to radio school. So I went to Bellevue Community College, took radio classes. That's part of how I got into it. And then in New York, because my sister got a scholarship to New York University when we moved to the States,
Right.
and coming from a Filipino family, my mom always felt we should always stay close in touch. So my mom would force me to spend summers in New York, and I was so young, and it's I don't want to go to New York. I'm all by myself. But it ended up being the best thing that ever happened in my life. Not only did I love New York, but my sister's best friend, her name's Ann Tripp, who, by
Yep.
the way, I think is still on the radio there at WBLS. I think um, she worked at 92 KTU, and that was a historic radio station where they started doing mixes and playing some hip hop. I mean,
Hmm.
DJs like John Jellybean Benitez, the Latin Rascals.
Yep.
I would listen to them and I go, wow, how do they do that, man? I've never heard anything like that, especially on the radio. I've heard it in the clubs, but not on the radio. And then we happened to my sister had to go to WKTU to drop off something for a friend and trip. So we went in this really nice building, and then all of a sudden I saw the DJs on there that I grew to admire listening to on the radio, like Paco, Carlos De Jesus, Al Bandero. Those three were like superstar celebrities in
Yep.
New York from the radio station. I got to meet them. They signed their autographs for me, and then they were playing music and getting paid to play the music, and they were like movie stars to me. And I was really young. I was like 16, 17. I go, man, that's what I want to do. I want to be like that one day. And that's pretty much how it all started. And spending my summers in New York, I would always buy records at the record store there,
Right.
and then I would bring it back to Seattle and play it on my radio show, K Fox Radio. I started the very first rap radio show. It was in 1980 on 1250 K Fox, and it was only once a week. But no one's ever heard of hip hop, a lot of hip hop like that before, until I started playing it on the radio. I was playing hip hop mixed with R&B music, but the hip hop started getting more and more popular. That the show ended up becoming an all rap show, and that's how it all kind of started. On the West Coast back in 1980.
Wow. So you
And
started. Go ahead.
I was going to tell you, and just to let back in those days, there really weren't any Asians in hip hop. It was pretty much me and the late Fresh Kid Ice from the Two Live Crew.
Hmm.
It was just us two. So I just remember traveling in the airport, and people would think I'm him. People would think he's me. They say we all look alike, but I don't really think I look like him. But that was kind of cool, though. I mean, he was one of the first Asians, after me, to get really well known. I mean, you know the Two Live Crew, right? You
Yeah.
heard of them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, so that's a little bit about my history.
Nice. So we got a question from my man, international DJ Tommy Lee. He says,
Oh,
"Do
what's
you
up,
remember
Tommy?
where you do you remember where you got your music from in New York?"
Oh gosh, I just remember when my sister lived on like Bleecker and Thompson Street in Greenwich Village, and somewhere around that block was I can't remember the name of the store. It was a really famous record store, and that's where they sold all the vinyl at. Yeah, if someone told me the name of the store, I would remember it. If you're from New York, that's where everyone went to shop for vinyl records. That was there, and another store out there. Uh, I don't really remember where it was at, but I do remember the one that was in Greenwich Village, in that
We
area.
we had so many of them. Vinyl Mania, rocking soul.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go. Yeah, I've been to all of those. Yeah, I
Yep.
sure have, man. That's all I did, and then I would bring it back to Seattle. I would have like boxes of records. I would bring back to Seattle, and then as I started getting more known, people from the record labels like Select Records, Tommy Boy, Def Jam.
Hmm.
They said, well, there's this guy Nasty Ness in Seattle. He plays hip hop music. Maybe if I send it to him, he'll play our records. So, like for example, Def Jam Records, LL Cool J, for example, Bobito was their promotion guy. He worked under Rick Rubin and
Right.
Russell
Stretch and
Simmons.
Bobito.
Yeah. Bobito was originally a promotion guy at Def Jam, so he would send me all the stuff in the mail. Same thing with Tommy Boy Records. Monica Lynch, she worked under Tom Silverman and a guy by the name of Chuck Rush. They sent me like Planet Rock as a test pressing to
Right.
play it on my show. I played that and ended up becoming a big hit. Select Records. What did they send me? I think it was UTFO was one of the first
Roxanne.
records that, yeah, and that started the whole Roxanne craze,
Hmm.
and Full Force. I think Full Force was somehow involved with Select Records, um, and yeah, so it just snowballed. And Sleeping Bag Records, Mantronics, they heard about me, and then they started sending me records because they knew I was the only one in Seattle that would play it. But the thing was, when I played it, the local retail stores would react to it, and they would order that record and it would sell out. So it kind of worked hand in hand. And that's how it really should be, like it was back in the
Right.
days. I play it, the retail, it reacts, it sells. But, we don't have vinyl and CDs anymore like back in the days. But yeah, that was a classic era. So that's how I was kind of known for dating back to 1980.
Wow. That is deep, bro. So you single-handedly brought it out there to Seattle. Wait,
Yeah.
wait, wait, wait. You had your radio station before you started DJing, or you were DJing and then got the radio station?
No, the radio station, my first paid gig was in 1980. So it was when I got the show called Fresh Tracks. It was a new music show. What I would do is every time I went to New York, I would just buy all these new records that I
Mhm.
know you couldn't get in Seattle or anywhere else on the West Coast. So I would actually spend money out of my pocket. Because back then it was only like maybe like $1 or $3 for a
Right.
record. So I would buy a whole bunch and then bring it back home in Seattle. And then once I started getting known, the record labels would send it to me, and I didn't have to pay anymore. They would just automatically send me records, and not only in the East Coast but in the West Coast too. Because in the West
Yeah.
Coast, if you know of artists like Egyptian Lover, the World Class Wrecking Crew,
Yep.
Rodney O, Too Short, groups like that, they heard about me and they would send me. The label would send me records too because they knew I was the only one to play it. Like NWA is a
Mhm.
perfect example for the West Coast. I was the first one in Seattle to play and debut NWA and Eazy-E, and it sold like they would sell out when they went on sale in the stores,
Mhm.
and and it led to me having a cameo on one of Eazy-E's songs called Radio. So I'm at the very tail ending of it with Dr. Dre, and man, the rest is history. Because back then I didn't know they were going to be as big as they are now, legends. But
Real. Yeah.
yeah, I was part of all that.
Wow. So GMS, he wrote a big note. I don't know
What
how to
did he
read.
say?
He said in Spokane, the best record store was Strawberry Jams.
Uh
Shout
huh.
out to the late Paul Skeet Bradley, Spokane's original remix king, who brought his records from Strawberry Jams. Wow, that's
Spokane. I thought it was
deep.
pronounced Spokane. Spokane or Spokane?
Spoke, spoke. Uh, could somebody clarify?
No, I know. Sway said it's called Spokane. I'm just playing. It's
Spokane.
Spokane. It's Spokane.
Wait, wait,
I just
wait.
thought. No, because Sway called it Spokane, so I always clown GMS about that. But it's Spokane. Yeah.
Oh, yo. So now you hear spoke. He said Spokane. Funny. So now you taking this over. When did you get up and leave Seattle to head to LA?
Well,
At what
So
point?
I got to rewind a little bit. So by
Okay.
1983,
Oh,
a guy by the name of Sir Mix-a-Lot calls me on the request line, introducing himself to me. And back then, only hip hop really you heard as far as a live rap group really came from the Bronx, New York. You never really hear of anything in Seattle. I only knew of one group in Seattle that rapped was a group called the Emerald Street Boys, who I used to also DJ for. But then this guy Sir Mix-a-Lot calls up, and so I didn't even know we went to the same high school together.
mm,
I'm 2 years older than him, but I checked him out. A friend of mine, Ed Locke, and I went checked him out in the boys' club. He DJ'd there every Saturday. I think it was every Saturday. It was in the heart of the Black District, and like Ed and I, he's Chinese, I'm Filipino. We're the only non-black people walking in the door, man. And everything went quiet when we walked in there, and I go, oh. And then the music started back up again. But anyway, that's when I saw Mix on there. I saw him DJing, rapping, uh, yelling at all the people that weren't dancing. He just had control of the crowd, and I loved his raps. He really could rap. So
right.
I told him, I said, hey, why don't you give me your song on cassette tape? I'll play it on my radio show. Let's see how it does. Because at that time, no one ever played local music on the radio. So I was like one of the first ones to do it, and it was well worth it because his songs got more requests than a Michael Jackson song, a Madonna
Mm,
song, and that's kind of what led to Ed Locke and Greg Jones, along with Mix-a-Lot and I. We started the label called Nasty Mix Records, which is my name and his name. And coming out of Seattle, believe it or not, we went gold and platinum, man. And so so
yeah.
so that was a very important part of my life was Nasty Mix Records as well as the radio station. And I'm still on the air doing a show. I'm like 40. I started at what 80, so that's like 41 years ago, and I'm still on the radio. I still sound good.
I listened to
not
a
as
couple of y'all shows.
not as good as you,
Yeah.
because I'm not a big dog like you, Harry, but I'm getting
Hey,
there.
not everybody can be, so,
I know I'm trying. You're my inspiration, Harry. 'Cause you're the big dog.
Ah. Okay, GMS is saying Ness was Seattle's original master mixer, and he was dope. So you're still dope, I'm assuming.
I still am. I mean, I still got it in me. Like I said, when I was in New York listening to Jelly Bean Benitez and the Latin Rascals, I would just listen carefully with my ears and try to figure out how they did what they did, and I would try to imitate and copy it. And at that time, no one was doing that on the radio in
Right.
Seattle, so I was the first one to do it on the radio. And then as time went on, there are other DJs like Cameron Paul, the late Cameron Paul, legendary Cameron Paul. I would like follow in his footsteps. And as far as like turntablists like what's his name, Qbert. I don't know if you ever heard of them,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
he's one of the
Hubert,
original.
yeah.
Yeah, I first met him, believe it or not, in New York at the New Music Seminar. No one knew who he was yet, and he was there with his homies, and it was kind of weird because him and I were like the only Filipinos in that whole conference. New Music Seminar was the place to be to meet people that ran labels,
Right.
artists. I mean, that's where Ice Cube and the Lynch with Ice Cube and people from Easy E's camp. They got a big fight at that hotel. I was there
Mm.
when that happened. Yeah, so that was the place to be back in the days, And I met so many people, Roxanne Shante, all those people, man, that I grew up listening to. I met them all, but you got to remember back in those days, no one knew who they were yet, so it wasn't really a big thing. But now when I look back, it's like, wow, I can't believe I met all these people. You know.
Right. And GMS is saying that he even copied your style, your
uh,
mixing
you know,
style.
he's a good kid. I mean, he listens, pay attention, and I really feel he is one of the best DJs out there. Um, and I just so proud of the guy. When you hear his mixes, he is so good. I mean, sometimes when I listen to it, I go, "You sure I didn't make that mix?" Because it sounds like something I would do. But but you know what? He does it even better. And they say what imitation is the biggest form of flattery, or
Yep,
whatever the saying is.
that's
And
it.
I respect that. Because when he does it just the way I would do it, like to perfection.
Right.
And it's not many people that are so dedicated like that. And that's why I'm really proud of him. And then for him to be on the Sway Show too, yeah, that's so cool. I've known this guy for like over 30 years. So I remember him when he was just a little kid and he had no hair on his face.
Mm.
But you would know because he don't let you see his face, but he has hair under there. Oh man.
Uh,
Okay, I'm sorry.
no, the DJ. Now you messing me up, got me laughing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
DJ Tommy Lee has said, "What hip hop DJ did you listen to in New York?"
Oh man, that's easy, man. I grew up to listening to, and it's so cool because we're friends now. Like DJ Red Alert,
Mm-hmm.
um, DJ Cheese, the late Wiz Kid was a real good friend of mine. He was on Play That Beat, Mr. DJ with
Yeah,
MC Glow,
cut it up,
and
Wiz. Cut it up.
yeah, we actually had two singles with him on the Nasty Mix Records label too. So I got to know him really well before he passed away.
Right.
But yeah, Red Alert and Chuck Chill Out, um, Latin Rascals, Jelly Bean Benitez. Those are like one of the very first early DJs uh, that I grew up listening to in New York and grew to really admire a lot. I've got like lots of cassette tapes in the closet. 'Cause I used to record the shows on New York. My sister would actually record them for me, and she would
Mm-hmm.
mail them back to me so I could listen to it and study it, study how they mixed, study how the DJ spoke on the air. I would try to copy Mr. Magic and another DJ by the name of Frankie Crocker. I used to try to
Mm-hmm.
imitate their style on the radio because they were so smooth and cool, and coming out of Seattle, it was so different. So I wanted to be that different person over the airwaves. And you know what? I bit their style and it worked. Yeah, it worked. I copied. Yep, I sure
Oh,
did.
oh. So what part of New York did you hang around in when you were here?
In the first few years, it was Greenwich Village because she went to New York University,
Mm-hmm.
and then after she graduated, she moved up to, and she's still there, Upper East Side, like East 81st, between First
Okay.
and York, in that area, and so I spent a lot of time on the Upper East Side. But back in the days, whenever I went there, I always, but this is before they cleaned up 42nd Street. I would always go to Times Square because on the movie theaters, now you're thinking I went there to watch porno, but I didn't. They
The
would
karate
have,
movies?
yeah, yeah, they would
Yeah.
have Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon, Chinese Connection, and maybe
All for a
Cleopatra
dollar ninety
Jones.
nine.
Yeah, I would go there and sit in there all day watching kung fu movies, and my mom would get worried because she knew that was a bad part of town. But yeah, I would go there and I just loved going there. And then they had like martial arts stores, and I would go there and shop for noon chocolate sticks or Bruce Lee magazines. But yeah, 42nd Street was my spot, and it wasn't to watch porno; it was to watch Bruce Lee movies.
So you never went on that side of the street, huh? You just stayed on
Well,
the
I'm not
karate
going to say
movie
I
side.
never did. Like I actually, like once or twice or three times, I accidentally walked in the wrong door, and then next thing I know, this curtain popped up and there was a naked girl behind it. But that was by accident.
Uh-huh. And you kept depositing quarters, right?
I had about 20 quarters
Had.
when I went in.
Oh man. So, you know, it, I'm assuming this is between the mid and late 80s where a lot of this stuff was happening, correct?
Yeah, well, I started in 1980, but things started blowing up especially for the West Coast around
Hmm.
85 to 88. You
Yeah.
know, with MC Hammer, NWA, Eazy-E, Egyptian Lover, uh, groups like that.
Now, in the Seattle area, was it a big hip hop fan base?
Yeah, believe it or not, yes. You know, yeah,
We would have never
it's even.
thought.
I know it's even bigger now, but that's where Macklemore's from. And of course Sir Mix-a-Lot. So a
Hmm.
lot of people identify those two with hip hop in Seattle, but there's more to Seattle hip hop than just those two. There's a big hip hop community there, and matter of fact, being in Seattle, that groups like Bambaataa, Will Smith, Fresh Prince. Uh, Gordy's Groove, the group that's Gordy's
Yeah.
Groove, all those groups, Houdini, they all came to Seattle because I was playing their music and it was really popular and big. So they all had been to Seattle. If you go to the West Coast back in the days, you had to go by Seattle, perform there. You know,
Right.
so we've had all of them there, man.
Oh, deep, bro. That is dope. I'm like learning so much because we didn't talk before this, so I didn't get the story, and I'm
No, that's
like
cool.
I'm fanning out right now. Like,
Ah, man, you know what? Like I said, you're the first person really to interview me that has no clue of who I am, and I think that's a good thing because it's kind of nice to talk to someone, you know, and
who
to
don't know your whole story?
yeah, yeah, I find it a compliment. It's nice to know that, and it's not like you're a teenager and you don't know who I am, but you're almost my age and you don't know who I am, and that, like I said, it did break my heart at first, but I'm okay with it now. I mean, if you were
You
like
you
19 years old or even 26 and you say you didn't know who I am, I would say that's all good. But you're not. You're like almost 70 years old and you don't know who I am. That's bad. And I know you dye your hair too.
yeah, it's more salt than pepper now.
Yeah. See, I knew it.
So GMS is saying you trained with Bruce Lee's student?
Oh yeah. Wow. Man, GMS put me on the spot
He's
here.
taking you back.
You should have him interview me. No, you know what? I was one of
Thanks,
the
GMS.
rich. I was one of the. Well, actually, I am the youngest member of Bruce Lee's school when I was 13 years old,
Hmm.
and the reason why is because my mom, when I was really young, my mom just couldn't control me, and she had a friend named Taki Kimura who owned a grocery store, not knowing that he was Bruce Lee's best friend and right hand man, and
Right.
who kept the school running. Um, and she would always go to him for advice. Goes, I don't know what to do with my son. He doesn't listen to me anymore. Blah blah blah.
You was
So
hard headed.
yeah, I was very hard hit. I was really rebellious. And so my Sifu Taki Kimura took me under his wings, even though 13 years old was too young, because you had to be like 18 over to be a member there.
Hmm.
He saw something in me, and he took me under his wings. And I never really had a full time father. So he was like
Right.
my second father, my kung fu teacher, my mentor. He was my everything to me, and that's why I find it really important that we should have someone like him, or like a Mr. Miyagi did for Daniel-san.
Right.
We all could use a good Mr. Miyagi in our life, and my Sifu Taki Kimura was my Mr. Miyagi. And it taught me to be humble. I mean, he owned this big grocery store, and I remember he was sweeping the floors one day, and I said to him, I go, Sifu, why are you sweeping the floors? Why don't you have him do it? He said to me, he calls me Nestor. He goes, well, nah, Nestor, I don't want you to ever feel you're too good to sweep the floor. One day you'll understand what I'm saying.
Mm,
And then I start thinking about it and I go, wow, he's right. I never want anyone to feel like they're too good to do something. So,
right.
if I went to your house, because I'm sure your house is messy, I'd definitely sweep your floor. I'm good. I can dust furniture. I'm good at washing dishes. No, because I was raised by a Filipino mom, so I can do all that, man. So Yeah, so those were some of the little things that he taught me, and he would tell me stories about Bruce Lee, and and then being a little kid, it's like wow, I never really had a role model or someone that looked like me, and the only people I really looked up to back then were Muhammad Ali, and then when Bruce Lee came around, he was something I always aspired. I wanted to be just like him when I grew up.
Yeah. Wow, that is deep. Jason is saying that is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And
Wow.
my seafood recently passed away a few months ago. He almost turned 97 years old, but he made it
Wow.
to 96. And yeah, I was really sad because he had like Alzheimer's, and
Mhm.
it's I never really knew anyone that had that. Maybe one other person, and it's just when you see someone and they don't really recognize you or know you who you are,
Right.
and yeah, it hurts, but I'm learning more about it, but he really helped me become the man I am today, become humble, and I'm kind of just like him, man. I'm really humble, man, but if you get me mad and if I touch you, because I know Chinese kung fu, better be careful, you bastard. And GMS too. He can beat me
Right.
up. He knows jujitsu. He actually can beat
Oh,
me up.
see, he ain't
So
say that when we did the interview.
oh no, he can't. Yeah, he don't know it yet, but he can beat me up. Yeah.
Jason is saying, did you understand the importance of his role in your life at that time?
Not in the beginning, but when my mom passed away, because my mom she had cancer and she died when I was 18, and she never got to see what I did with my life.
Right.
And her last wish, and this is the truth, she wanted to see me graduate from high school. And like I said, I was rebellious. I didn't listen, and I definitely, if it wasn't for my mom's wishes, I wouldn't have graduated. But I graduated for her, and then after she passed away, my seafood taki became more of an important role in my life. And to this day, yeah, man, that's why I always talk about him when I do interviews, whether
Yeah.
it's like this or if it's in writing. I always bring him up because if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would be where I'm at today. The things that he
Right.
taught me, it was that, and I got a present when I was in high school from my sister, and it was like to me the wackest present anyone could ever ask for because I hate to read, and it was a book. She gave me a book for my graduation present. I go, a book? Ugh. But you know what? And the book was called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And if you
Bro.
ever heard of that book or heard of Napoleon Hill, you know that book has changed so many people's lives. And I
Yes.
read that book and it changed my life. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And that's the only time I read a book. After
That's
that, I didn't
like
read no more.
one of 3 books I've read in my life from cover to cover. I don't like to
Really?
read either. I rather the
What,
audio
what's your
version.
what's your other two books you've read?
The other ones, it's a red book. It's actually called the Red Book of something, and
Okay.
then,
Uh-huh.
Kiyosaki's book.
Who?
Robert Kiyosaki.
And what's
Wow,
that about?
what is what I forgot the name of that book, but I haven't read them in so long. Somebody put in the chat Robert
I
Kiyosaki's book that I
okay.
read.
You know what? Okay, I read that book, but I do also remember reading Enter the Dragon, and I also read, and this book really scared me, The Exorcist. I read that book,
Really?
and I thought the movie to this day still scares me because it's based on a true story. But when you read the book, I never read the book can seem more real than the movie. Oh man, to this day, boy, I have nightmares. Like if I ever feel my bed shaking, I always think it's like Reagan. What's her name? Reagan, the Exorcist, coming to haunt me.
Uh,
Yeah, that's my life, man. But yeah, I've read it in my life. But I like looking at
oh,
pictures. I love pictures,
yeah. Oh, me
comic
too.
books. Yeah, I can
Mm,
collect comic books. Hmm.
who didn't?
Yeah,
Wait,
I used to
GMS
have Hulk number 4. Hmm.
GMS is asking me to ask you about the Fresh Fest in London.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. I'll briefly talk about that story. It's because it's probably one of the most memorable moments in my life. Um, you, back in the days, it was like 8045. They had what's called the Fresh Festival tours, and it was all
Hmm.
East Coast group. It was all East Coast groups, and this
We're
concert was
familiar.
held in. Yeah, this concert we were invited to be in. What happened to be in London, England, at the Wembley Arena. But the only two West Coast groups that were invited on that show was us, meaning Sir Mix-a-Lot, and the World Class Wrecking Crew, which was the group Dr. Dre started in when he
Right.
first started out, and that's how I got to know him was from that tour. Uh, so we flew to London via New York, and so when we're at that time, the movie Purple Rain just came out,
Hmm.
and if you remember Prince, all the girls, I said, I know I'm going to get the ladies because Prince would jump on top of the speakers. He would play his guitar. So I go, okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to jump up on top of the speakers with my microphone. And then, and then I actually fell. And when I fell, the speakers were so high in the air, I really almost died that night. But instead of falling to the bottom and dying, I caught there were the ropes to the curtain.
Uh
So I
huh.
caught the rope, and then I was going down slowly, and the curtain started to close. And then I was yelling, I go, Mix!
See,
And then,
that's
and
why
then,
they invite the West Coast.
oh, it was funny, man.
Yo,
And then,
shut the
and then,
show down.
yeah, they pulled me out. I got a standing ovation. They probably thought it was part of the show because it was really funny. And then at the ending of the show, all these people go, hey, lad, that was quite awesome what you did, man. Was that planned? Or I love how you fell on the ropes there and then jumped the speakers, lad. And I go, hey, thank you. Yeah, you want an autograph? Okay, here you go. But yeah, I'll never forget that. It was really embarrassing at the time. But
Wait,
we look back
Jeff
at it.
Jeff is asking about the groupie that went to the studio that day. Went back
The
to the
group.
studio.
Oh man, I think Jeff got me mixed up with the guy from the Two Life Crew. Man, I don't know about no.
The groupie
Uh,
was scary to you.
oh man, nah, I've got a lot of groupie stories, but I don't know about that one. I think that was a Fresh Kid Ice one. I think he got me confused. Like he thinks all Asians look alike, so that wasn't me, man. Sorry, Jeff, can't help you on there, buddy.
Oh, we gonna get Jeff. We gonna get Jeff here. He don't want to do an interview. We gonna
I
get him.
know, man. That's what I did
We
notice
gonna
that
get him because
he
I
never
know he
does
got bad
interviews.
stories. I know he
He
got
never does
bad.
interviews. But you know what? Here's something funny. I guarantee you, if you interview him, if you say something funny, if you say something sad, if you make him mad, he never his looks it never changes. It looks the same all the time. So you can't tell if he's happy, sad, sad. I'm telling you, I guarantee you. Watch when you interview him. You know. So what he
Oh,
should do is, if it's funny, you should tell him put like a mask with a smiley face on it, put it on, and if he's mad, put a mask with a mean face on it. That's only how you'll know how he's feeling. I guarantee you, man. Trust me.
what are the pictures? Happy,
Yeah,
sad.
yeah. Nah, man, I'm serious. This guy has no facial expression at all. You know. So
We'll get him up here one day. He'll
well,
fall prey.
today's 420, so maybe he looks different today because it's 420. So I don't know.
Some people don't get that.
Yeah, he will though. He will. So how many more minutes we got? I'm looking at the clock, man. Aren't you almost off the air?
Bro, dude, we go as long as we want or as short as we want.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
got no time limit. This is my
Well,
show.
yeah. Well, let's see. Okay, because tonight's the night I watch the TV show Kung Fu. I don't know if you ever watched it yet,
The
and I
newest
don't want to.
one.
The newest one, it's not. It's okay, but I love martial arts, so I don't want to be
Yeah,
late in watching it. So if you don't
I'm a
mind,
kar- I'm a
kind of
karate
cutting
movie
this
buff. Oh yeah.
interview a little early.
When 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 Wait, how much more time we got?
Just a few more questions, and we can just kind of like
Did
end
we
it.
start wrapping it up?
We can do part two next
We'll
month.
do
And
another
when the
part
show
two.
when the show gets canceled. The last one was kind of weak, man. But I hope it does better tonight. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, the people from
No
Kung Fu's
problem. No
watching.
problem.
I'm just being real.
So let me ask you, what's going on now? I know we're limited on time, and we don't have time to go through the '90s and then the early 2000s. But
Yeah, I know,
what's
huh?
going on now? We'll get a part two.
Well, you know what? What I have my website. It's called rapattacklives.com.
Hmm.
Rapattacklives.com, and basically it's my top college non-commercial DJs who DJ on shows where they don't have to answer to a music director or program director on what to play. So these are the best DJs I find who can break underground hip hop, and I'm not talking Takashi music. I'm talking about serious hip hop boom bap records. You know what I'm saying? And if you go on my website, you'll see the charts, and you'll see that we
That,
truly represent the real hip hop, the underground stuff. So that's what I do. I help promote records to my Rap Attack DJs. In return, they support me and tell me what's hitting for them, and that's how we continue to break new music. And I've been doing that
right.
since 1985. So I do that, rapattacklives.com, and then I celebrated my 41 years on the radio, and that's where Grand Mixer GMS comes in every Sunday night at 9 o'clock. West Coast time, which is midnight your time. You're asleep by then. We
Oh
have
yeah.
we have a show. We have a show on there, and it's from 9 to 11 p.m. and it's on RainierAvenueRadio.world, RainierAvenueRadio.world, and it's called K Fox Night Beat. And the show is pretty much based on my original radio show I had in the early '80s, which was on a radio station called K Fox. All the stuff I
Right.
played brand new, and then once a week I'll play a brand new song. Only one brand new song I'll play each week, but everything else are all the classics. We do mashup mixes. GMS does the master mix. Uh, it's fun because when you listen to the show, it's very
It
professional.
is.
I,
It's a good show. I listened to it a
yeah,
couple of times.
I
The one you
love.
had when Prince Marky D passed away.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I caught that show.
I love doing that. I love doing production work. I love being on the radio, and like I said, man, Grand Mixer GMS is like my mini me. Like we just vibe on the
Yep.
air so perfectly, and his mixes are always on point. And he grew up to be a good kid. So I'm Shifu Taki, and he's me. So I'm mentoring him and trying to guide him. And he really doesn't need any guidance. He pretty much has it all there now.
Right.
Unlike me, I really need a lot of help and guidance. I mean, I went through. I know I really did. I mean,
Yeah.
believe it or not, I know you're saying, man, this is one of the nicest guys in the world. I feel like he's my brother, but
Yeah.
I went
People
through a
don't know the
period.
past.
No, yeah, and I don't mind sharing it with you, because I had
Hmm.
an anger problem.
Yeah.
So I had to go to anger management. I had to go by law.
Really.
I had to go for 1 year. But you know what? I really didn't feel I was healed yet. Then I
Hmm.
asked him. I said, "If you don't mind, can I stay longer?" And I had to pay for it,
Yeah.
because I really felt like I needed help. And now, I can. I know I couldn't control my temper back then, but
Mm.
now I can control my temper, and I just a lot more humble now, and that really helped me because I had a very angry side of me.
Glad to
Um,
hear. Glad to hear.
yeah, yeah, and plus I had a really rough first marriage, and man, it just what when my book comes out, I'm gonna reveal everything in my life, and when I say everything, everything, because it wasn't all roses for me. I've
Hmm.
hit rock bottom many times. I actually had a heart attack from smoking meth. That's
Wow.
how bad it got. I used to love doing that, and I've been sober now for 17 years, and
Good.
I'm still alive, man. So
Yep.
yeah,
Hmm. You get on the wake up list every day.
And then, oh, and I got my COVID shot today. I got my second shot today. And like I said,
I ain't see
if I'm
you
act,
twitch once.
yeah, I'm starting to feel the effects of the second shot right now. So if I act weird, you know, that's why I got my second shot today. But I'm okay, man. I don't feel any side effects.
Oh, that is funny. So,
How
so
about you? Need to get yours too? Are you gonna get your shot?
I'm gonna be
Or
the
you're,
last one online.
oh man, you'll be. You know what, man? I hope you don't get anything. Like, I'd hate to see you laying on your
I
on the
had it
back.
already. I had it
Oh,
already.
oh, you did
The
have
the,
it.
the virus, yeah. I did
So
I did have it earlier
w-
this year. It was
really?
it wasn't as bad as I thought. I was down for about 4 days
Uh
with
huh.
the fatigue thing, and then I got myself
Wow.
up and
Uh huh.
was doing things out, raking leaves and walking out there.
Really? Wow.
But it didn't put me down long.
You might not be so lucky the next time, man. Yeah, I don't want to see those things, the ventilators going down your throat.
Yeah,
You know, you just never know, man. But that's your own decision, your choice, man. All I can say, if you have stuff like, like, I don't know, stuff that's worth a lot of money to you, if you put me in your will, I would
I
really
got you.
appreciate that.
We'll
Okay.
we'll talk after the interview.
Will you do that for
I'll
me? Will
I'll put
you
you
put
in.
me in your will?
I'll put everything. Just get it notarized.
All right. Okay, I got this on tape, man. Because if the judge don't believe me, I'm going to play this tape. I'm recording this right now.
I
All right.
got you.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
Anna.
right. All right.
Oh, we got one. We got a question. Then I'm gonna ask one of my final questions. Do you
Sure.
think there should be a hip hop union where certified OGs get a hip hop pension?
Well, you know what? That was brought up, well, not recently, but someone started that or was about to start something like that. I don't remember who it was, but I tell you this much, it would really help. Like for example, Black Rob, who passed away. He
Yeah.
was homeless. He was homeless, and I doubt he had insurance. And I think we had something like that in
Hmm.
what we do. Man, that would really help, take care of our family, our kids. Unfortunately, we don't have that. It's not
Yeah.
like a 9 to 5 job where, you have all those special things, like,
Hmm.
uh, I don't even remember what you call them because I've been self-employed for so long, I forgot the wordings of these things. But yeah, man, yeah, I would to answer that question, I would say yes. I would be so down for that. I really think, if you're young enough to hear this interview and you can afford to get life insurance, or even term
Definitely.
life, and I would get that because when you get old and older and you start having health problems and you can't get it anymore or it's too expensive,
Hmm.
and you're gonna regret it. That's one thing I regret, uh, and I should have kept it, and I wish I had that. Now to insure me, it's so expensive, man. I mean, really, really expensive. So
Really.
that's that's what I'm saying, man. If you have anything valuable and you want to will it to me, help pay for my funeral
Yeah.
stuff, that'd be
I got
really,
you, bro.
because you're Harry the big dog, man, and I really like you a lot, man. I really
we got
do.
we got DJ DJ Prince Ice the second that and GMS third that
Yeah.
motion.
And we might be neighbors one day because I told you my wife wants
I
to move to
know.
West Virginia. West Virginia. You know,
That's about 5 hours from me. So
only
I'll
thing I
come
know
up
about,
I'll come
only
up
thing I
there.
know about that is John Denver, and you don't even know who John Denver is, man, because you're not a DJ. But if you know John Denver, he has a lyric in the song West Virginia. I forgot the other
I
words, but
I
that was a.
used to know the song. I used to play it on guitar.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You lied, John Denver.
No, serious. That yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
there's a line in there that says West Virginia Mountain Highway, something like that. So,
I forget the lyrics. It
yeah, me
was a
too.
couple of years about 2017 when we learned it. We went up there for a military retreat and we learned the words. They gave out guitars, and we sung that song.
Wow, that's so cool, man. And
Hmm.
my wife wants to move to West Virginia.
Mm.
There's only like one Walmart, and there's probably no blacks or Asians there. But as long as they have a Walmart and a McDonald's, I'm good, man.
So, DJ Nasty Nes.
Yes,
One of the
Harry the
last
big dog.
one of the last questions I always ask all my DJs is, what advice would you tell that DJ that's just getting into this business? You know, you got 40 some odd years, but they're getting to this business. They don't have any connections. What do you tell this new DJ?
You know, every town has like one celebrity DJ that's made it, or I would think they would. I would try to find that person and ask him questions or her questions, get to know
Mm-hmm.
that person, you know, intern for that person, even though interning you don't get paid for it. Man, I
Right.
spent many years doing stuff for free. Get to know that person, following their footsteps. If you got to find that one person or two, or that second person that's in your market that's doing something really successful, and just keep persisting on trying to get to know them, and ask them, hey, will you be my mentor, or learn from that person. You can do that. That's one way to learn. Do that,
Mm-hmm.
man. And a lot of it is people you hang around with, man. If you hang
Yeah.
around people that just like to smoke weed and rap on records, and then you're gonna end up just wanting to smoke weed and rap on records. You know, Now if you found someone like to smoke weed and rap on records, but went to school, has a good 9 to 5 job where gets paid really well, mentors kids and stuff, I would go roll with that person.
Mm-hmm.
Something like a good role model, like my Sifu Taki Kimura. He wasn't just a martial artist; he ran a grocery store. One of the
Right.
most humblest guys. And he didn't even charge us to pay to learn from him. He didn't want to make any money off of his friend, you know, and that's how humble he was, and will always be,
Yeah.
and I'm the same way. I'm always there to help someone to ask if they ask questions or they need help. I always try them, because I want to be someone that when I'm gone, people will remember me. And,
Mm-hmm.
they'll ask you, hey, how'd you learn that? Or how'd you know about that? Well, this guy by the name of Nasty Ness told me this, kind of like I shared with you about my seafood taki about sweeping
Right.
the floor. You know, I want to be like that, and yeah, so I hope that answered your question. I got a
Yeah.
question for
It
you.
it did. Yes, sir.
How did you get the name? And you can lie if you want, because I have an idea. But you can lie if you want, but don't lie. It's how did you get the name Harry the Big Dog?
Oh
Don't lie.
man.
Don't
The
lie.
It's a simple story. I used to throw a lot of parties back in the day. A few people in this chat, I'm not going to say what type of parties, but a few people in this chat know the type because they were there. And
Okay.
there was a company that made t-shirts called Big Dog.
Mhm.
So I always used to wear those t-shirts. And a lot of them either had Big Dog in the front or Big Dog in the back. So they would go, if somebody was looking for me who didn't know me, they'd point and say, "Go to the big dog over there. See the shirt over there." And
Oh.
then it
Okay.
just started with Harry the Big Dog, and this was back in the late '90s, and it just stuck.
You don't
It's
spell it DAWG. You spell it DOG.
no, yeah, the
Mhm.
OG, the
Okay.
the OG.
Yeah. Oh, D like OG, like you're the OG. DOG.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't pick up on it. See when you tell the truth, it really means a lot. And you told the truth because I actually believed you. You are the big DOG dog.
Ah, we got Chris Gloss checking in. What's up, bro?
Hey, Chris, you're late, but what's up?
Uh, Prince, Prince Ice is saying it was a big dog label. Really? I
Really?
know it was,
Who was on that label? Ice?
that I didn't know.
I don't remember that. Huh.
Hmm. So, last question before we close this thing out.
But you
Who?
said that in the last one. You said was the
Yeah,
last question. I'm
that
missing like Kung Fu's on. Okay.
who do you need? Who do you want to see on here, DJ wise? Who needs to be on here to tell their story? And because this platform is for DJs, only DJs, because we don't get that type of respect like an MC, to be interviewed all the time. How
Well, I tell
many?
you, since you want to educate a lot of your viewers with the West Coast side of DJing, man, I know like DJ Joe Cooley, Icy Ice, DJ Babu, DJ Red Manic, DJ Shortcut,
Babu I've heard of.
yeah, and a lot from the Beat Junkies,
Yep.
all those. If you ever need me to help try to get them on your show for you, let me know and I'll try to hook it up for you. I mean,
Roger
I
that.
think it's great because it's dope. Because you're coming from Virginia, the East Coast, and not like you said, you didn't know who I was, but now you do, and then
Now I
more
do.
people
We
that are
boys
watching
now.
it. Yeah, 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 for sure, man. And I think the more you know, the more you educate yourself, like anything in life, the better for you. Expand your. I mean, because I know you don't like to read, you don't even remember what the Red Book was about. But I think if you had West Coast
It was
DJs
a
on your
book.
show, you might remember who they are when they're done. Like, you better not forget who I am.
I'm not. And when you do your book, make sure you get an audio version too.
Oh yeah, and spell your name big DAWGOGOH and then dash G. Okay, and then you'll know it's you. Okay.
For real. Any last questions for DJ Nasty Ness? Everybody, put it in the chat. We're gonna wrap this thing up because he has to go watch Kung Fu, and I'm getting
That's right.
hungry.
Well, my social media, real quick. If you're on IG, it's
Yes.
at it on Instagram. It's at nastiness818 NASTYNES818. On Facebook, it's at nastiness NASTYNES. Twitter at nastiness in numeric. And I know you're not going to remember all this. And what else do I got? Oh, Mixcloud. Mixcloud.com/NASTYNES. I'm also, I got my group, the High Children. I want to shout out the High Children, JJ Hudson, DJ Third Degree. They're my next three bangers I'm really trying to break big and go gold and platinum with. Uh,
Look at
and
that.
yeah, yeah. So try to tune in Sunday night, RainierAvenueRadio.world for K Fox Night Beat with yours truly and Grandmaster GMS.
Roger that.
You
That's
hear what I
way
said?
past my bedtime. Yeah.
Grandmaster GMS. He hates it when I do
Grandmaster.
that. Yeah, he hates it when I
Grandmaster.
do that. Yeah. But tonight he's Grandmaster GMS. Hey man, I love your hair,
Buddy.
man. You tell
Oh,
tell your
thank you,
dad,
bro.
tell your dad Don I said what's up, man.
I
I miss
surely
him.
will.
I'm serious, man. I know that's your dad, man. It's either Don King or Ronald McDonald, but I think it's
Ah,
Don King.
well, I want to thank you for taking the time and coming on and educating us a little about the West Coast and how you guys play a part in this hip hop game. And it's not gonna stop. This thing is like worldwide. I'm
Oh
looking
yeah,
for people now in the Philippines, in Japan, in China to get on here that can speak English fairly
I
decent.
got you. Okay, I got you,
But
man.
thank you
Like I
so much
said,
for taking the time, bro. Yeah,
oh,
that's the
oh,
second shot.
my vaccine is acting up, man. I better get going.
Oh, so bro, thank you so much. I will reach out to you soon. I'm gonna put you in a green room so I can close this thing out.
All right, do
All
that.
right.
And if I move to West Virginia, you're gonna help me move. All right,
Yeah,
you
I
better
got
you
you,
better help
bro.
me move.
I
I've got
got
like
you.
I got like 10 big flat screen TVs, and they're really heavy, and my turntables too, and my vinyl. All right.
Okay, the
Okay.
vinyl. Yeah, I got you with the vinyl.
Hey, thank you very much, and to all the listeners, the people watching, man, God bless you all, man. Thank you so much for taking time out to check me out. I wish you all nothing but the best, man. Keep God number one in your life, man. Peace, love, and hip hop unity. My name is DJ Nasty Nes. I'm out of here. Harry, you are the big dog. Love you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate you giving me this time to shine
No
tonight. All
problem,
right.
bro. Love you,
Thank you
bro.
so much. All
All
right.
right. Later. So, yo, this is another DJ interview with Harry the Big Dog, and we are out of here until next week, next Tuesday at always 8ish Eastern Time. We are out of here, and